Okay, second very good afternoon. So now let me introduce our second speaker for today. Okay, Dr. Ashraf Osman Ibrahim received his PhD from City Technology Malaysia. Okay, and Master Son and Bachelor Son from Nelain University, Khartoum, Sudan. Okay, he is a senior lecturer and member of Advanced Machine Intelligence Research Group University Malaysia Sabah. His research interests include application of intelligence system, artificial neural networks, data mining and machine learning, deep learning in cybersecurity, evolutionary computation, data science, and big data analytics in different applications and multi-objective optimization. He has working as an editor-in-chief and editorial board in 4 journals. Besides that, he is a reviewer panel in high-quality journal Q2 in different publishers such as Elsevier, IEEE, Springer, Tyler, MDPR, TSP, and Wiley. In addition, he is a member of the many committee organizing international conferences and workshops. He has excellent experiences in teaching and supervision. He is supervisor of more than 6 students and more than 15 master students. Okay, so Dr. Ashraf, over to you now.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum and very good
Yeah,
afternoon,
welcome, Osman.
everyone. So can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Shamsul and the Faculty of Computing and Informatics to give me this opportunity to present this humble presentation. So actually, the topic title is about avoid rejection and choose a suitable journal. So when we start like this talk, so we give some tips about after you finish your writing your article. So what is the next step? So probably that everyone just think to publish his paper, okay? And before you think to publish your paper, so you have to think for a few things that is a basic things that can give your paper is more uh, stronger and high quality. So first is make sure you follow the standard. So like Dr. Hassan, now he provide us some valuable structure of the paper. So there is a standard. So you have to make sure that you follow the standard, and then you have to check what you wrote, and you have to check again and to check many times, again. Okay, and then you have to ask another colleagues, another researcher, another friends, your supervisor, to read your paper, because sometimes they can explore something that you cannot explore. Okay, and then you can get benefit uh, from their comments, of course. Okay, so the most important thing that is your paper, it should be read and understand easily. Okay, so then make sure your article is in a logical order, steps, and will and well structured. Okay, that means it has good structure and good organization. So then make sure your present your article in graphs, use flowcharts like pseudocode algorithm if necessary or if there, and you have to present all these with a clear uh, attached with a clear writing. Okay, in English writing with no table and grammatical errors. Okay. So then you have to go through self-evaluation of your article. To evaluate your article, so just you have to put like some criteria. That is, does your paper contribute to the body of knowledge? So you have to ask yourself this question. If yes, and you believe that, so then that is a good. Another thing is your paper technically sound? So you have to answer this question. If you are not confident with your answer, or your answer is no, so you have to improve this part. You have to improve this technically part. The third one is the paper well organized, present, and free of writing errors? So this most important thing is the grammatical and typo errors. So you have to check for your paper, and you have to ask yourself this question. And the fourth is the references that used are related to the topic and applicable, sufficient, and recent references. If no, you have to fill the gap to be like this all criteria. If yes, so that means it's good. So the last is overall, is your paper high quality? If your answer yes, and you convince with this, so then you have your paper or your work is a very good and high quality, and then you can publish in high quality journal. So there is some rejection you may face, or we can face some rejection in our journey. So I categorize this rejection in four. So it's like desk rejected by editor in chief. Usually the editor in chief is reject paper based on some reasons, like out of scope of the journal, like bad writing, is a lack of novelty, like ethical issues, okay, format issues, plagiarism issues, and so on. There is many reasons that can the editor in chief reject the paper. The second is rejected by associate editor. The associate editor actually is one of the editor boards that assigned to handle the process of your paper. So he can do the rejection as well. So the third one is the reject after reviewers opinion and evaluating your paper. So that means your paper is go through the next step, which is the assign some reviewers to evaluate your work. The last is rejection after you done response to the reviewer. So that means after step 3, or the type 3 rejection after reviewer opinion evaluating. So this means is your paper is now out of the journal system, so it is rejected already. So if the journal sometimes give you like a chance to improve your work, or to respond to the reviewer comments, so then you after you do the response to the reviewer comments, maybe you got rejection after resubmission, or resubmitted your revised manuscript. So maybe you can get a rejection. So in this case, maybe you don't meet the or answer all the reviewer questions. That means the reviewers are not happy with your response to their comments. Okay, so then I will go to how can you avoid these types of rejection. Like the first one, desk rejected by editor in chief. So you have to make the editor convinced and happy with your work, okay, by the following the standard. Okay, so there is some standard that you can make the reviewer happy with your work. Okay, so like good in writing, the well organized, and so on. So then if rejected by associate editor, so usually the associate editor sometimes he reject the paper, he or she reject the paper before assign some reviewer. Okay, so maybe he has like another view of the rather than the editor in chief, he has he has a right to reject before he assigns some reviewer. Okay. The third one, after rejection, after reviewer opinion, so you have to go through the response to the comments, okay, point by point, and you make a file, and then you have to make the file or response to the reviewers clear format and number based on the reviewer number one. Okay, the first reviewer comment number one like this. Okay, the answer or the response is like this, and so on. Okay, and then in the manuscript you have to highlight the change. So highlighting the change is a very easy to view and track by the editors and the reviewer. So usually the editor, who is the first person who check the response to the reviewers. If the editor feels that you are not do the reviewer comments carefully, so the editor can reject. No need to go through the second round of the reviewing. So the first one is a reject after you do the response. So that means you already answer the response, the reviewer comment, and resubmit again, and then you got reject. So in this case, you have directly to go to submit in another journal as soon as possible. Okay, and in this case, I prefer, in my opinion, I prefer to resubmit in another publisher. You can look for another journal. Then there is other common reasons for rejection, like two main reasons, either ethical or editorial reason. So like incomplete data, such as too small data sets or missing some part, okay, it results on rejection. Like poor analysis, such as using inappropriate statistical tests or lack of the statistic altogether, and so on. So it will result in reject. Like inappropriate methodology, like answering your hypothesis, okay, or you have a weak research methodology, okay, or your hypothesis is not clear, and so on. You can get also rejection, even if the novelty of the work is not that high novelty or something else, so you can get reject as well. So the last one is inaccurate conclusion or assumption that are not supported by your data. Okay, all this is some common reason for rejection. So another part is how to choose a suitable journal after you finish your paper. So remember that there are many journals looking and waiting for your submission. Okay, because actually the journals is waiting for the submission of the manuscript. So then you have to make a list of a candidate journals based on the aims, scope, and journal policies. Okay, you have to look in a different publishers and make sure that your paper within the scope of these candidate journals. Okay, you have to make like a list or short list, including like 3-4 journals that is like candidate journals that you are going to submit in one of these journals, and then you have to make sure the journal we select that you are going to select is a match your needs, and then you have to filter your selection journal by check the similar topics that already published in the candidate journals if they publish like a similar work. Then you have to determine the quality of the journal based on the different criteria, like is it Q1, Q2, the impact factor, the size, the score, and so on. So then you have to check the review process, and the most important thing is the time to the first decision, because we are waiting for Sometimes you are waiting for the decision, like 1 hour, like 1 year, okay, like 1 year, and then you get rejected, for example. So the time, okay, is the first decision is a very important thing, and then you have to collect some information about these uh, candidate journals that you are going to submit for one of them, okay. So then you have to check the journal acceptance rate, and this is very important. If the journal from your shortlist from the candidate journals, let's say you find, after you check this point acceptance rate, you find one of them is low acceptance rate, 10, let's say 10% or less than 10, 8, for example, okay. So you have to cancel this choice, okay. And then the publication frequency, like this journal is a uh, quarterly or bi-monthly or monthly and so on, okay. Then check the guide for authors carefully and prepare to the submission, like checklist based on the journal requirements. Each journal, it has like some checklist, like let's say, for example, cover letter, okay. Some journal ask for highlights, you have to provide some highlights, okay. Some journals requires that to like to give some reviewers names with the affiliations and emails and so on. You have to prepare all this, and then you have to check the journal archive looking for the similar topics, and last can look for special issues that's relevant to your topic, because sometimes in special issue, and especially in the subscription journal, it's not open access journal, so the special issue can the process of the special issue is very fast, okay. So then there are some tools that can help you to choose the suitable journals, okay. After your paper is ready for publication, and you follow all the publication ethics, research ethics, okay, copyright, authorships, figure formats, data and references, all and everything is up ready, okay. And then you can use some tools to help you, or can give like some candidate journals, okay. So like you can use, for example, if you are trying to submit to Elsevier, you can use Elsevier Journal Finder. You can, if it's Springer, there is Springer Journal Suggestor, the IEEE as well. There is IEEE publication recommender, and if Wiley, if MDBI, okay, and there is open journal matchers. So the previous one I already mentioned. So actually, this one is related to the publisher, like Elsevier Journal Finder, Springer Journal Suggestor, IEEE Publication Recommender. Okay, all this is belong to the publisher. But there is some tools is open, like open journal matcher, like a journal guide. So you can, and there is a many tools. Okay, you can use this tool to help you to suggest some journals based on your title and abstract. Okay. So then before submit the paper in high quality journal, so you have to take into account who are the readers, your own, okay. Then you search for, and then find a good title and research question, okay, and then you have to get advice from your senior colleague, supervisor, expert, and so on, and find a good and attractive title as well. So based on the, because sometimes your title can attract the editor, okay, to care about your paper, and even the reviewers. The good structure, of course, is like writing style, okay, well organize your paper, structure paper in a good uh, format, and so on. So select the suitable journal and follow the journal format. And during the submission, You are already choose and determine the journal, so then you have to read carefully the guide for authors, okay, and you have to follow the guide that journal put in the website. That is the author guide. Okay, you have to follow carefully. You have to create an account if you don't have account already. So prepare all requirements that the journal needs, like cover letter, highlights, graphical abstract, potential reviewer, and so on. Copyright form. Okay, follow the exact step and provide all required information that requested by the journal. Okay, so during submission, if you follow these steps, so you can guarantee that the journal, or after they check, they cannot send back after 2 days or 4 days, can send back your manuscript based on the you miss some of the requirement, important requirement. Okay, like Elsayed do, for example, and IEEE do as well. So after submission, you have to track your paper status, okay, and then if it took long than normal time that you already investigated and known before, so you can contact the editor. You can contact the editor and inquiry about your paper status. Okay, so sometimes if your paper is rejected, don't be discouraged if you get rejected or you get like a very bad comments. Okay, so because sometimes you get like this, your paper rejected, and some reviewer, give you very bad comments. Okay, it is okay. It's okay. So just you have to accept all the opinions of the reviewers, and just you can prepare to enhance or to improve your paper again. If you are lucky, okay, you get rejected and no reviewer against your paper. So just because sometimes you have a good or a very good paper with a high quality paper with a novel, the novelty is there, and writing style and everything, but sometimes you get rejected. Okay, if you are lucky, so just you can submit. Okay, you can submit again to another journal. You must accept all opinions of the reviewers, whatever it is, because some reviewers very tough, use harmful words in their reports, and they give hard and unlogic points to modify. Okay, and some of them just reject your paper and so on. So it's based on your case or in your paper and in your luck as well. So don't ignore the important points regarding your comments. If you receive some comments, so you have to consider these important points, because sometimes the reviewer can give you comments and can explore some points after you read the comments carefully. So you can agree with this reviewer or with this point. So that means this consider as important points. Please don't ignore like these comments. Okay, and let's pay attention to the logical and serious comments that can improve your paper. And think, you have to think about the reviewer comments. So because the reviewer usually they are in the same field, they are experienced, they are expert with a good experience. Okay, so they sometimes they don't put like just points of comments or just comments. So you have to think about these comments, okay, or reviewer comments. Is it really can improve your paper? And some of the reviewer can give like unlogical comments and so on. But you have to care or pay attention about the logical and serious comments. Okay. uh, if if your paper is rejected, so then you have to start improve your paper or to submit to another journal. Sometimes, before I go to some examples, sometimes some reviewers just give negative comments, and sometimes the editor can just reject your paper. Okay, so I mean that the rejection is a normal thing, and just we have to accept the decision, and we can go forward. Okay. So in the last, I can give some example. If you can see this slide, so like comments to author. Okay, like the first comment for this paper is proposed, blah blah blah, and so on. So, however, there are lack of new methods in this paper. So, is a enough reason to reject the paper. So, all this example is about rejection or rejected decision. Okay, like this one. There is a lack of the method in this paper. Okay, so another comment is the author claims that the proposed model and detection this knowledge and the output blah, 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 okay, so in general work is a poorly, like this one, poorly presented and demonstrated. The manuscript is not recommended for publication. So this is the first slide that I start. Okay, if you are evaluate your paper and that your paper is got like a novelty, new methods, okay, and so on, so then it will be good. Okay, like this, for example, how many parameters are optimized. So this one is regarding to incomplete in some part. Okay, the way architecture defined memory handle the major issue, none mention about the hyperparameter optimization and so on. Also, this one is against the paper accept. Okay, so then here we have like in this paper there is around 6 or 7 reviewers. Okay, and the decision is a major revision, reject, 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 accept. Okay, major revision, and then the final decision from the editor is rejected with you know, resubmit, with the resubmit. So the different reviewer, they have different points of view. Okay, they can give different comments. Okay, some reviewer, as I said, they are a very tough reviewer. Okay, and in the right, the example in the right, in this case, there is some around 5 reviewer. Okay, so this paper go through the second revision. So this one is the original submission on the right. This is a major revision. Okay, minor revision by another one, major revision by the third one, the fourth one minor revision, and the decision or decision given by the editor is major revision. Okay, so then the revision one, that means the second round. Okay, the first reviewer reject, the second one accept. Okay, the third one none, that means he's not fill his evaluation report. Okay, then accept, the third one accept. Okay, then the decision letter is accept, because here the majority of the reviewer, they said accept in the second revision. So anyway, that to get the acceptance or rejection, so it's just like sometimes based on the in your lucky. If you are lucky, okay, so you can get acceptance. Okay, sometimes, it's not all times. And the most important thing, the quality, the novelty, okay, the paper organization, good structure of the paper, well written, In English, there is no typo errors, there is no grammatical error, and so on. Okay, so that's all for my side, and thank you for your attention. Thank you for your
Okay,
time.
okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ashraf, for a very impressive presentation. Also to Dr. Hassan. Okay, so now we open the question to our colleague lah. So, is there any question? So, please do so. Okay, we have a question from Dr. Fadli. Okay, so this one who want to answer, Dr. Ashraf or Dr. Hassan? Please look at the chatting box.
Okay.
Look at chatting box. So maybe Dr. Ashraf answer lah for this question. Next, Dr. Hassan.
Dr. Ashraf, are you answering the question?
Okay, I'm still thinking. Okay, I can answer. If you are going to answer, so you can answer, then I can support you. If no, I can go through. No problem.
No, we can both answer, I think, in our aspect.
Okay.
So first, I try to answer. I think he is asking that in a survey paper or systematic literature review, what sort of technical aspect the reviewer is looking for. So suppose he's asking, for example, information system or informatics, is it empirical analysis? Or so for maybe for IoT, what is the technical aspect the reviewer is looking for? Or suppose in the last it says if the paper focuses on taxonomy or framework analysis, what kind of technical aspect that should be discussed? In my opinion, it all depends on the author, what aspect he is going to present. Like suppose I give you an example. Like suppose I wrote one of my, the survey paper on related to my PhD. My work was on cloud computing. So I created a taxonomy, and in my taxonomy, I have taken many aspects which I wanted to present. So it's obviously it's not always obvious that whatever I am presenting, everybody will be happy with that. So sometimes the reviewers they accept as it is. Sometimes they bring their own, views that you should include this as well or that as well. So it all depends on the topic as well. Like suppose, as I said, that my topic was cloud monitoring. So I have mentioned many aspects of cloud monitoring, like suppose user point of view, and the service provider point of view, and so many aspects I have discussed. So when I got reviews, so they as I remember, they accepted all, but one of the reviewers said that you have not addressed the scalability, right? So I accepted it and I include the scalability as well. So I think the point of view may be changed. Like suppose if I present my work now, uh, out of 10 people, 4 might say, "Oh, this is rubbish. This taxonomy is rubbish. I'm not agree with this." So I think don't worry about this. You just have to uh, most probably when you are doing a review paper or systematic literature review, so you are not presenting your own work, so all idea you get from the other works. So you just try to make consensus on your own mind and try to do paperwork that what taxonomy you should present or what area you are focusing. So mostly it on the topic or the specific area you are targeting. So that's from my side. Thank you.
Okay. I can add some points to Dr. Hassan. So since you are using like survey paper or systematic, so there is a you have to include some discussion and analysis of the technical aspect of the topic, because this the technical aspect of the topic is a very important to the reviewer. They're very important. And then the analysis is the most important point Okay, so you have to do like a critical analysis, and you have to give like elaborate discussion in this analysis. Okay, and one more thing is about you, the topic that you are writing. Okay, is it helpful for the reader? Is it helpful? Is it give like in the area? Is it can give or add value in the area? Okay, so is it contribute to the body of the knowledge? This is the very important. And last thing is about the taxonomy. So you have the if you cover the taxonomy in your paper, it is very uh, good things. So because most of the researchers of the you know, even the PhD students, okay, they are looking for the like in deep taxonomies, like let's say for IoT, like what you have said. So you have to make a taxonomy based in the main areas, okay, in the field, and then you have in the sub areas as well. Okay, I think the review paper or the systematic uh, review paper or survey paper. So it is a very important. In the very important part is your your opinion, because you just uh, you study the others, the previous studies in the field. Okay, so the way that you are provide the taxonomies, the way that you are give your analysis, your critical analysis in the field, okay, in the topic exactly, the way that you are gives the discussion elaborately, okay. So then I think in like this paper is very interested in even in high quality journal, if your topic is like uh, recent advances in some area. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hassan and Dr. Ashraf. Okay, so is there any more question? You may unmute or just share through chatting box lah.
I think we add more one more question is about, is it more about practically of the taxonomy framework in real world use? So this based on the topic that you are going to review or you are going to study. So sometimes you are doing you focus on the application survey, application in the application part, like let's say if you give example of IoT. So let's say the IoT, you can do the survey either in practical part or in the application part, like application methods and so on. Sometimes you give like in practical, like I mean the experiment, like the methods and so on. So it depends. Your taxonomy is based on your topic or your framework.
Okay, any more question? Okay, I think there is no more question from our colleagues. So, okay, on behalf of the faculty, so thank you very much to Dr. Hassan and Dr. Ashraf for a very impressive sharing session. So hopefully we may have another sharing session maybe next month. Okay, so till then, all the best. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Bye.
thank
Thank you
you,
very much, all. Thank you.
Yes, okay,
thank
assalamualaikum
you.
and very good afternoon.